everyone, welcome to yoga. Today we are celebrating the full moon. It's called the pink moon of April. And the reason for that is that the pink moon is reflective of the pink blossoms and the flowers and nature. And that's why it's called the pink moon. And it was the biggest moon that we've had this year so far. I hope that you had a clear night and were able to see it. It was at its peak right around 12:30 p.m. last night, right in the middle of the sky. So today, in honor of the full moon, we're actually going to do a set of exercises and poses that help to open up our lower chakras, mostly our sacral chakra. And so we'll be doing a lot of stretching for the hips and our lower back, as well as the legs, just to help us with the practice. As part of the practice, we'll be doing a moon salutation series. And in addition, at the end, we are going to meditate, relax in a relaxation pose using the gong. So let's go ahead and come to the floor in cross-legged position. And I'm going to begin by just sitting comfortably in Gya Mudra, with my hands in Gya Mudra on the knees. If you have difficulty sitting in this position, you can prop yourself up with a towel or block to help the knees relax a little easier. But we're going to go ahead and place those hands in Gya Mudra and over the knees. And let's begin inhaling and exhaling with our eyes closed, noticing our breath as we inhale through the nose, the coolness of the air, and as we exhale, the warmth of the air coming in and out of the nostrils. Inhale deeply. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now bring your hands to your knees. And let's do round the world, taking your left shoulder forward and then your right. Inhale as you come forward, exhale as you roll back. Warming up our lower back. And also loosening up the hips a little bit here with this motion. It should feel like your hips are rocking like this on the floor. And let's do one more in this direction and reverse. And let's do two more in this direction. And now straighten up. Let's bring ahead and bring that left foot forward and the right heel in with the left foot in front of the right leg. Here we're going to place our hands on our knees, shoulders back and down, reaching with the chest. And fold. You should feel a stretch coming down or tension coming down the legs. And also some lower back stretching. Extend your arms forward and try to relax into the pose. And release up. Now extend that left leg out, feeling a stretch in the inner thighs, trying to sit both your sit bones into the mat. Use your right hand to help you keep those hips centered as you fold forward. And feel that stretch in the inner thigh. And release. And now bring the legs in a cross-leg position. Bring your hands, actually not cross-leg. Keep the one foot in front of the other leg. And then bring your hands behind you, palms facing back or to the sides a little bit. Make sure your wrists are comfortable. And just lift the hips high and drop the head back. This particular stretch helps to open up the hips. You should feel a nice stretch in your hips. Also squeezing in the glutes and allowing the chest to stretch and the thyroid and parathyroid glands massaged. And release. And now let's switch the legs. So now you bring the right foot forward, the left heel in, right foot in front of the left leg. Hands on the knees, shoulders back and down, reaching with the chest, hold, And you may feel this a little differently on one side than the other, and it depends on how tight your hips or knees are. Extend your arms out and try to relax down into the pose. And now raise. Extend now your right leg out, keeping the left hand off to your side to keep your hips settled both into the floor, and try to fold forward. Relax that right leg. Allow the inner thigh to feel a stretch. And release. Bring that leg back in front of the other one. Bring your hands again behind you and lift the hips. Drop the head back. And release. And now let's stretch our legs forward. Flex the feet. Try to reach for your toes, but if you cannot, you grab the shins or you use a strap and wrap it around your feet. You're going to try to lengthen the spine. What occurs is the hips tilt forward. So if you look at it from the side, your body wants to do this, which is curve the spine, but you don't want to do that. You want to tilt the hips bones forward, like that. The knees may bend a little bit, and then you try to reach forward as you pull your chest forward. And if you can reach the toes, you grab the toes. And then you can try to bring one knee down at a time or both. And so you should feel the stretch isolated in the hamstring. For some of us, it may be more difficult to keep that straight back. But if you are tight on your lower back, that's going to happen. You're not going to be able to straighten the back. So you may feel a pull in your lower back as well. You can bend the knees to keep you from doing that. And then just bring one at a time down. But just hold here for another breath or so. Inhale. Exhale. And release. Okay. Now let's come into a straddle pose. And here we're just going to stretch the inner thigh, so just try to rock a little bit at an angle, side to side, feeling a little stretch coming in here. Try to keep your toes pointing towards the ceiling. And just keep moving a little side to side. And then hold it at center. And fold as far as you can, reaching with the chest. Now here is the kicker. Some of us cannot fold past the hip joint. So if that's your case, you place your hands right behind you in a cup position, and you allow the hips to tilt forward as much as you can. That's all you do. And your hips may want to come off the floor. So just try to hold it here and try to feel that stretch in the inner thighs. And this may be as far as you can go. Those of us who are more flexible and can hinge forward, you're trying to reach with your chest. Try to relax the legs here for a moment. see how far you can get. And then to try to engage, try to come down a little more. I'm going to teach you a trick or two. So what you do is you engage the kneecaps, and so now your thighs are strong, so your muscles are engaged in your legs, and you try to see if you can come down a little bit more. And then once you reach a place where you're feeling the tension, you let go of the kneecaps and relax the legs. And notice how the stretch isolates in the inner thighs. And you can repeat that process. Engage the kneecaps, make those legs real strong, try to fold a little bit more, and then release the kneecaps, relax the legs, and feel that stretch. Don't take any of the poses to the point of pain, just a point of tension. And those of you who can easily reach the floor, feel free to come all the way down. The important thing is to try to keep your back straight as you fold. So I will demonstrate from the side so you can see. So notice this is the starting point for a lot of us. Those of us who can stay and fold from the hips, just bring your hands to the sides. And notice my back is trying to stay as straight as possible as you fold. You want to avoid this because then you lose the stretch in the inner thigh. But that may take some time to get used to. So just try to get that fold from the hips, hinging forward with a flat back as far down as you can get it. A few more breaths here. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and release. Awesome. Let's bring the legs back in. And now we're going to stand. So the next couple of poses are very strong hip openers, very aggressive hip openers, and we'll be needing that because we're going to be doing some aggressive side bends, okay, in the moon salutation. So we want to get those hips really loose. So we start first with the feet a little wider than hip distance, toes pointing out a little bit, and then you try to bring your hips all the way down. Maybe straighten your arms up front for balance. Woo! I need to widen a little more for myself to be balanced. Some of you can easily come down with the feet forward, and that is fine. We're all in a different place here. So this is one stretch that not only affects the hips, but your knees. If you have knee challenges, you don't come down this low. Of course not. You just come down as far as you can, and that's it. Those of you who can get down without any knee issues, then you do it. And now release. And come up. Now, we're going to do it a few more times with the breath, just to get our circulation moving a little bit more here, okay? So interlace your fingers, except for the index finger, and bring your arms out from the shoulders. I'll stand sideways to demonstrate. So you come down, you inhale here, exhale, bring the hips down, inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down, inhale up, exhale down. Let's do a couple more, up and down, one more up, and now hold it down, and now bring your hands down, lift the hips, and bring those toes forward, bring the heels in a little bit. So now you're in a forward fold. The feet are about hip distance, and you're just folding, trying to relax the head as much as you can. in the shoulders, feeling against the stretch coming down the hamstrings. Maybe your hips will start to feel this starting to stretch as well. Feel the hips opening. And the idea here is to try to relax your upper back and shoulders to the point where gravity is pulling you down. You can grab your elbows and tuck your chin a little bit in so that the head can rest inside the arm, like this. And try to relax that head and the upper body as you notice your spine lengthening. Getting those arms closer and closer to the floor. And some of us may not be able to keep our knees straight, and it's quite okay to leave them bent as you do this pose. And now release, bring your hands to the floor, walk our feet back, and bring the knees down. I want to stretch the bottoms of the feet here now because we're going to be doing a pose in which we are sitting on our toes. So we want to get the bottoms of those feet and those toes stretched out. So let's go ahead and turn your toes under and try to push your hips back. This also feels a nice stretch on the knees here. And some of us may not be able to go as far as we're going to go next, but that's okay. Just do what you can. We bring the hands by the knees, and now we lift the knees up in a runner stretch, and then bring the knees back down and back up. And notice how the bottoms of your feet begin to feel a stretch. I personally have some issues with this pose myself. My toes can be pretty tight, but this is a great exercise, stretch exercise, to get those joints on our toes to stretch, and the fascia of our feet as well. And now we're going to bring the knees down and hold, and see if you can sit up on the heels. This is the most aggressive one. I tend to need to lean a little forward, but some of you can easily sit on the heels. And now let's bring the hands down to the floor, bring your knees back up, and just hold. I will turn forward for demonstration what this should look like. So we're here. And now we try to balance on the pose. If you feel like you cannot get balance, just leave one hand down at first, and then engage your core muscle, get your legs real strong, and bring your hand, the other hand up. Engage the legs, feel them supporting you. Now, I know a lot of us cannot get down this far. So when you're doing this particular pose in the moon salutation, you're just going to come down this far, and that's as far as you go. But those of you who can come down all the way to the heels, you bring it here. Then you bring your arms overhead, lengthening the spine, engaging the core, using the legs to lift up. Let's practice that again. Bring it down to the floor, hands to the heart, arms overhead, strong core, strong legs, lift up. Perfect. Now that we are standing, we're going to practice another stretch with the legs wide. So in this pose, we're going to bend the knees and hold. Try to turn your toes out a little bit more. Try to feel that stretch in the inner thighs. Your spine, your lower back is tucked under so that you have that effect. From the side, notice I'm not here. I am here. Core strong, hips tucked under, pushing the knees over my toes. And that's how you get that stretch in the inner thighs. In the moon salutation, there's two poses we do in a triangle, three poses actually. This one is one of them with the elbows into the rib cage. Goddess. Now, because I feel like having some fun right now, I'm going to have you lift your heels and hold. Now drop the heels. Extend your arms at an angle. Straight knees. This is star pose. Star pose. And bring it to goddess. Bring the heels up. Hold the heels up. Extend the arms up. Straighten the knees. Notice the calf muscles talking to you. Drop the heels. Bring it to goddess. Lift the heels. Straighten the arms. Straighten the knees. And bring it to goddess. And now let's just straighten the knees. And bring your feet forward. And fold with a straight back. We're just going to do some stretching again to open up the back of the legs and the hips. So we start here with a straight back, folding down. Avoid curving the back. Keep the back straight as you fold forward. Hold it here. Now we're going to drop our hands down to center and try to keep a flat back if you can. Avoid this. Don't do this. Again, coming up, flatten the back, and now reach for the floor with a flat back. You may have to bend the knees if your hamstrings are very tight. So here you should feel a stretch coming down the hamstrings and in your hips. So as we hold this pose, we're going to now turn your toes out to the corners of your mat. And we're going to bend the knee to the left and then to the right. Again, tight knees, issues with knees, you don't go down this far. You may just stay up here. Okay? Keep moving with me. You may feel a little crack here and there. I know my feet bones are popping a little bit for me. Now we're going to walk it over to the right, to the left, sorry. Here, if you have knee issues, this is as far as you go. But if you can, you bring that right hand behind you, flex the right heel, and drop the hip down. So here's that aggressive stretch on behind the hamstrings and an aggressive stretch on your hip and your knee. And bring it in. Let's move to the other side. Hold it. If you can come with me, bring the left hand back, flex the left foot, drop the hip down. I use my right elbow to keep my right leg away. And now release. Come back to center, keep the toes pointing out. And now we're going to bend to the left, bring your hands to your heart, flexing that foot, coming down, and then switch to the other side. We'll be doing this in the moon salutation. And now bring it to center, and walk your feet in. Let's roll up. And now there is one more pose that we do in the moon salutation that I want you to be aware of. There's a couple of poses more, actually. So we're going to come to standing and then to all fours. So we're coming to the edge of the mat. Bring your arms up. We do a slight back bend. Then we fold. You turn your toes over to the corners of your mat, like so. And then you bring your arms down in front and let the knees open wide and your arms relax down, head drops. From the side it looks like this. And this is called garland pose. This is one of the poses we'll be doing. Again, tight knees, issues with knees, you don't come down very far. You just come down to this point, and that's as far as you go. Okay? The other stretch we're going to do, we come to all fours. And now we're going to bring the right leg, foot forward, drop the left hip down to stretch our hip flexor right on front of that left thigh. In addition, we're stretching the right hip. So you should feel a stretch coming up the leg a little bit on top, but also a stretch in the front of the left hip. Now, the next thing we're doing is crescent move. So with crescent move, we're going to work our way up to it just a moment. Bring the left arm up, the right arm, and I'll bring it down, and I'll bring the left arm up, and bring it down, and I'll bring both arms up and back, and this is crescent move. Bring the hands down, turn your back toes under, lift the knee, slide the right foot back, bring the knees down. And now bring the left foot forward, drop the right hip down, so you're trying to stay leaning forward. Try to always keep the heel is aligned with the knee on this left leg as well as your right when it's bent like this. So you want to avoid having a bend like this. Try to avoid that if you can. Okay? Also, we want to avoid here because then you lose the stretch for the hip flexor. You want to shift those hips forward and allow the hip flexor to get a stretch. And you may feel it coming down your quad as well. So now let's bring the left arm up and down. And I'll bring the right arm up and down. And I'll bring both arms up and down. All right, let's slide the left foot back. Let's do a cat and cow. Cat and cow. With the cow, the tailbone goes up as the chin comes up. With the cat, the tailbone comes under, the chin tucks into the chest. Inhale for cow, exhale for cat. And now, let's come into neutral spine. Turn your toes under. Lift the hips into a down dog. Push back, push back, push back. Those hips. Pedal your feet right and left. Hold the right heel down. And I hold the left. Both heels down, push back, push back. Raise the left leg up, bring the left foot forward to your left hand. And now we're going to turn the right heel at an angle. So one more pose we do in Moon Salutation is triangle and pyramid. With the triangle pose, that back heel is at an angle. Okay? Now engage your abdominals and bring that right arm and back. Straighten the front leg. To come into triangle, you shift that front hip back. Like that. Okay? Now, as you look from the side, you will notice that I try to keep alignment with my spine. So I'm not here. I am straight up. And I'm trying to keep my core strong and my booty tucked in as much as I can. So here we're back in that triangle. You bring the left hand down and the right arm up. So they're in a straight line. And you should feel a nice stretch coming out the side of the body. Now the heel may feel a little weird because of the way we're leaning that leg against it. So be careful with that. If need to, bend the knee. No pain on the heel. No pain on the ankle. So this is triangle. And now we release back up. Turn your feet in the other direction. So now your right foot faces the one direction and the left foot is in. And bring now, make sure you're getting the right hinge of the hip. You're in alignment. That front foot is cutting the back foot somewhere. So as you look forward, this time I'm facing you. Notice how my back foot is hiding behind my front leg. So they're in alignment. Here we are again, shifting the hip back and forth just to try to get that hinge. And now, once it's hinged, you bring the right hand down, the left arm up. With triangle pose, the point is to get that stretch here on the side of the body. So if you try to reach the floor too quickly, and you're not properly stretched, you may hinge forward with your body, and that you don't want to do that. You want to stay aligned with the body. So I'll just show you from the side what that may look like. So I'm hinging, and notice my hips. Notice where my hips are as I come down. Notice, notice, notice. I'm like in between two window panes. What a lot of us tend to do is this. We want to avoid that. Okay. The other position that we do, the other pose is pyramid pose. So again, coming to that wide-legged stance, we're going to turn left foot to the side. Now we're going to hinge like if we were doing that triangle, but instead now we're going to turn our hips towards the floor, flatten the back, try to come down. You may have to bend the knee, but you want to now take that right foot and turn the toes forward. So basically you're trying to imagine that you have two skis. You have one foot on one ski. Notice my legs, two skis. You step back, not too far. You want to try to get that back heel on the floor. So once you come down like this, you can adjust this front foot and slide it back until you get that right heel down on the floor. And this is what it looks from the side. Like that. So this hip, notice this hip, you can only see this hip, you can't see the other one. If I turn the other way, this is the real test. Notice when I turn the hips the wrong way, how you can see both my glutes. Here, once you turn the hips forward, back foot is facing forward, then this hip hides the other one. And that's where you want to be. Aggressive stretch in the back of the leg all the way down to the calf, and not to mention the hip joint. The back should be flat if at all possible. If you must, because your hamstring is very tight, just bend the knee, but try to keep the flat back. And you can use blocks in this pose to bring yourself higher and flatter, okay? Let's go ahead and try the other side. So bring the right foot forward, step the left foot back. Again on skis. Adjust your front foot until the back heel is on the ground. And try to flatten the back. And now release, bend the knee, and rise. Okay, I think we're ready now to do the moon salutation. Come to the front edge of your mat. Bring your arms up and back. Exhale to fold. Step back with your right foot and drop the knee. Bring your arms back into crescent. Bring the hands forward and bring the right foot forward back to a flat back here. And now turn your toes to the corners and drop the hips to garland pose. Come back to a forward fold. And now step back with your left foot. Drop the knee. Bring your arms back in the crescent moon. Bring your hands down. And now slide the right foot back to downward dog. Come into a plank and move into an 8-limb pose. The 8-limb pose, the knees drop and the chest drops. Inhale to cobra. Turn your toes under, move to down dog. Step forward with your left foot, then your right. And now, feet are together. Drop your hips down to toe balance. Bring your hands to your heart center. Bring them overhead. Engage your core. Engage your legs and lift. Up, back bend. Exhale to the heart. That concludes one moon salutation. Inhale up and back. Exhale, fold. Step back with the right leg. Drop the knee. Move to garland pose. Arms down. Bring the right foot forward, flat back. Toes to the corner. Drop the hips to garland pose. Lift into a forward fold. Step back with the left foot. Drop the knee. Crescent move. Hands down. Lift the left knee off the floor. Slide the right foot back to down dog. Plank. Bring the knees and the chest down. 8-limb pose. Lift to cobra. Turn your toes under to down dog. Left foot forward and right. Feet together. Drop your hips to toe balance. Hands in your heart. Arms overhead. Strong core, strong legs. Lift. Back bend to the heart. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale up and back. Exhale, fold. Step back with your right foot. Drop the knee. Crescent. Hands down. Bring the right foot forward. Toes to the corner. Garland pose. Drop those hips. Come back to a forward fold. Left foot steps back. Drop the knee. Crescent. Hands down. Lift the knee. Slide the right foot back. Down dog. Plank. Knees and chest down. 8-limb pose. Cobra. Down dog. Step forward and drop the hips down. Toe balance. Hands to the heart. Arms overhead. Lift to back bend. Bring the hands to your heart. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale up and back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step back to crescent. Exhale, down. Bring the right foot forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale to garland pose. Inhale to forward fold. Exhale, step back with your left foot. Drop the knee. Inhale, garland. Exhale, down. Inhale to down dog. Exhale to plank. Inhale to 8-limb pose. Exhale. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, step forward with both legs, and then exhale to toe balance. Hands to the heart, arms overhead. Inhale up. Back bend, exhale to the heart. Inhale. Exhale. One more of these. Inhale up and back. Exhale, forward. Inhale, step back. Drop the knee. Crescent move. Exhale, down. Bring the right foot forward. Toes to the corner. Exhale. Gauntlet pose. Bring the hips up on the inhale. And step back to crescent move. With the left foot. Hands down. Right foot slides back. Down dog. Plank. Or 8-minute pose. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, step forward. Exhale, toe balance. Hands to the heart, arms overhead. Inhale, up. Back bend. Exhale to the heart. Inhale. Exhale. So what I did not tell you is there's 2 moon salutations. We just finished doing 5 of the moon salutation 1. Now we're going to do 5 of moon salutation 2. So standing in mountain, bring your arms up, interlace your fingers, sway your hips side to side. And now step wide leg into goddess pose. So bend those knees, keep your booty down and in. And move to star. Now bring the right foot in at an angle. Bring the left hand down into triangle. Now bring the right hand to the floor. Turn your back foot forward, adjusting to keep the heels down into pyramid pose. And now lean forward, bending the left knee. Turn that right heel out, coming into that aggressive side bend. And then move to the other side. Bring your hands to your right, turn the back foot forward, slide the right foot back to triangle. Not triangle, to pyramid pose. And then turn the heel in a little bit and move your arms to the left arm up, the right arm down. Triangle pose. From here we move to star. Then goddess. Then mountain. Come to toe balance. Arms overhead, inhale up and back into the heart. Inhale, exhale. Inhale up and side bends. Step to the sides and try in a wide angle stance. Come into goddess, bending those knees, elbows to the rib cage. Bring the arms straight, knees are straight, star. Right foot turns in, coming to a triangle pose. Right arm comes down, moving to the pyramid pose. Bend the left knee and come into that aggressive side bend. And then switch to the other side. Bring your hands to your right, turn the back foot forward, slide the right foot back to pyramid pose. Turn the back heel in to triangle. Now to star. To goddess. To mountain. And coming to toe balance. Arms overhead. Inhale to back bend. Exhale to the heart. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, arms up. Side bend. Legs wide to goddess. Then star. Right foot turns in, triangle. Then right hand comes down to pyramid. Left knee bends to aggressive side stretch. Then move to the other side. Hands to your right, turn the back foot forward, slide the right foot back to pyramid. Then turn the back heel into triangle. Then to star, to goddess, to mountain, to toe balance. Arms overhead, inhale up and back, and to the heart. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, arms up, side bend. Legs in a straddle for goddess. Then star. Right foot turns into triangle. Right hand comes down, turn the back foot forward, pyramid. Bend the left knee, adjust for an aggressive side bend. Then the other side. Bring your hands to your right, turn the back foot forward, slide the right foot back so the back heel hits the floor, pyramid. And now turn the back heel in, bring your left arm up to triangle. And then star. And now goddess. And now mountain. Come to toe balance. Arms overhead. Inhale up, back bend. Exhale to the heart. One more set. Arms up, side bend. Legs wide. Goddess. Star. Right foot in, triangle. Right hand down, pyramid. Bend the left knee for aggressive side bend. Then bend the right. Hands to your right, turn the back foot forward to pyramid. And now back heel in to triangle. To star. Goddess. Mountain. So balance. Arms overhead. Inhale up and back. Exhale to your heart. We are done. Now let's come to the edge of your mat. Arms up and back. Exhale, fold. Step back with both feet to down dog. Bring your knees down and wide. Feet together, push your hips back to child's pose to rest. And slowly rise. Bring your knees in. And now drop off the heels. Extend your legs out, pointing your toes towards the corners of your mat. And slowly bring yourself down to Savasana. So I'm standing to demonstrate what it should look like. Your arms are by your sides, away from the body with the palms up, shoulders tucked in slightly, and chin. While you rest, I will play the gong. If you're in a bright area, maybe you want to cover your eyes with a towel or a sock or a napkin. Something that keeps the light, the place a little bit more dark so that you can relax easier. I will be playing the gong for about 8 minutes, and then I will pause for a few minutes so that you can absorb the energy and rest, and then we'll conclude the class. wiggle your fingers and toes. Rotate your wrists and your ankles. Bring your arms overhead and stretch your legs away from the body. With the inhale, stretch, stretch. Exhale as you bring the knees into your heart center. Release the tailbone and rock side to side. Drop the knees to your left, your arms to your right, cat stretch. And back to center, rock side to side. And drop your knees to your right, your arms to your left, cat stretch. And back to center, rock side to side. And now drop your knees to your right and just bring your right arm under your head for support. Bring your left hand in front of you. Inhale. Exhale as you push into the floor to come back to seated position. Bring your arms up with the breath. Exhale to your heart. Inhale. Exhale. Bring your hands to your forehead. Namaste. Have a wonderful week, everyone. And thanks for joining me in honoring our full moon of April, the pink moon. Have a wonderful week.